So next up in my day, I am meeting with Vincent, who is doing AstroNavigators. Now, if you remember back to an earlier video we did where we talked about the 10 games I'm most excited about at the UK Games Expo, AstroNavigators was on there. It's a game that not enough people are talking about because it grounds real science into a kind of worker placement game, and I'm really excited to find out more about it. I really love it when you see a game in the person and it not only meets your expectations but exceeds them in every way. I was so excited by AstroNavigators, but then having seen it and have talked with the developer about how good it's going to be just makes me want to play it even more, and we're going to have some more content about that on our channel in the future. But it just feels like a labour of love, and that just oozes across all of the components and just the enthusiasm that someone has when they're talking about it. And the attention to detail that you get in this. Everything is grounded in proper science, albeit, you know, with animal astronauts. This guy, by the way, based on Patrick Moore.
Auf jeden Fall gleich einmal
Absolut. Deswegen English or in German? In English, absolutely. AstroNavigators, what's the game about?
Well, the game is about astronomy. So you're trying to chart, well, to read the stars, and being capable to reading the stars is very important in order to make a journey to the moon, because that's the second part of the game. So in the beginning you're an astronomer, and then you'll be an astronaut. In the beginning it's all about knowledge gathering.
And I'm seeing a koala?
He has a koala.
Jarrah Walker?
Yeah, Jarrah Walker is from Oceania. It's a koala from Australia. Yes. She's from Aboriginal origin, and she likes to sail the Hokulea, which is a Pacific Ocean. It's from the, how you call it, the Pacific Triangle. She likes to sail the oceans and try to chart the stars to find a way with the sails.
So there are animals who want to travel in the universe.
Yes, actually every animal is an avatar of a separate continent. Like there are 7 continents on the board. And,
I will translate. Wir haben hier also verschiedene Tiere, die die Reise ins Universum antreten, und jedes dieser Tiere ist praktisch ein Avatar der einzelnen Kontinente. Zum Beispiel gerade den Koala-Bär, den wir euch gezeigt haben, Jarrah Walker, ist eben aus Ozeanien und hat eben das Ziel, da eben aus ihrer Aborigine-Heimat hoch in die Galaxie zu fliegen.
Yes, and we also have, this is maybe people will recognize the eagle as from North America, but also he wants to go, he's like a test pilot, and will go to the moon and try to land as an eagle on the moon, like in Apollo 11. So, but there's a lot of culture integrated into the game, which is a reference to the history of astronomy and spacefaring.
Also das Spiel will wirklich mit den Avataren und Co. eben Bezug nehmen auf diese Geschichte der Astronomie und dieser Raumerkundung im Weltall. Wir haben hier gerade hier zum Beispiel den Adler gesehen, also wenn der Adler da oben auf dem Mond landet, eben ein Symbol dafür.
It's a work replacement game and a race game. And here you have the action board. And the cool thing about the game is that it's based on real astronomy. Like you have here, like 4 weeks in a month. And after the actions are made in the first round, then the sun will shift like to the next zodiac, and 1 month is passed. And so after 12 rounds, you have 1 year. And the planets also will shift, and they have different orbit speeds, depending on how close they are to the sun.
Also das Spiel basiert wirklich auf richtiger Astronomie. Wir haben hier also die Möglichkeit, es ist ein Rennenspiel, und wenn wir uns hier vorne weiter bewegen, kommen wir durch diese ganzen Sternzeichen, und am Ende haben wir 1 Jahr rum, und hier oben an dem Board sehen wir, wie nah wir uns an der Sonne befinden. Also da wieder ein Spiel, was wirklich auch Bezug auf eben genau diese Raumerkundung da benimmt. It looks awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Each of us is trying to learn astronomy so that we can race to the moon and back. Now, there is quite a bit going on here with many mechanics that feed into each other. The game itself takes place over 2 phases. In the first phase, we are learning about astronomy, taking various observations of the stars as well as the planets in our solar system. This is going to give us knowledge points that we are going to track on our boards, and in order to do these things, we'll be traveling across the world. Now, we're going to gain knowledge as we enter new continents. Also, as we use a variety of different travel types with like ships as well as helicopters and rockets, we are also going to be gaining knowledge. Now, again, we are trying to make observations, and where we are in the world will affect the parts of the sky that we are allowed to see. Now, with that in mind, we can look over here, and based off of the row where our travel die is, we're going to be able to see various parts of the night sky. For example, if we were over here, we would slide this down, and now we can only see this part of the night sky. The rest of this up at the top is beyond our horizon. Now, the game itself is going to take place over 2 years, and as we proceed through the years, we're going to be moving these forward as the sun is charting its course across the sky. The location of the sun and the location of your travel die on the board is going to dictate which parts of the sky are obscured by the light of the sun. This is very important because one of the main things we're doing in this game is worker placement, where we're going to be placing down our token on various spots on this board, and these give us various observations of the moon as well as constellations to strive for. These constellations specifically tell you where they are in the overall night sky, and if they are obscured by the sun based off of the time of year it is and based off of where you are on the Earth, then you can't make this observation. Fortunately, one of the actions that you can do is a planned observation where you can take a card and set it off to the side to then make that observation later on when the time of year and your position on the Earth is going to allow you to make that observation. In addition to observing constellations and the moon, we also can observe the various other planets in our solar system. Now, the way this works depends on where the Earth is compared to the sun and where all of these other planets are on this orrery board. Now, there's only one planetary observation card available each round, and for example, this says Neptune, and Neptune is over here, whereas the Earth is there, and the Sun is here. Now, the Sun is obscuring all of our observations in this window, which means we can't actually observe Neptune until the Earth orbits around the Sun enough times. Each month, we're going to move all of the inner rocky planets once in a counterclockwise direction, and once per year, we'll move Saturn and Jupiter, whereas we never move Neptune or Uranus because they move so slowly that over the course of 2 years, they functionally not change their position in our night sky. Of course, as the Earth moves, the area that the Sun is blocking will also move. Now, earlier on, I did mention that what we're trying to do is gain knowledge, and the ultimate goal for us is to launch off of Earth and send an astronaut to the moon, and then get that astronaut from the moon all the way back to Earth. Now, on this journey, we're going to be hitting a bunch of difficulties, and we will overcome those difficulties with the knowledge that we've gained in the previous part of the game. So this game is all about doing a variety of observations in order to get a bunch of knowledge, and then when you think the time is right, you're going to launch into space. And based off of your preparations, you will hopefully make the journey to the moon and back over to Earth. Now, the ultimate goal of this game is reputation, and one way you get reputation is by getting back to Earth quicker than your opponents. You also get reputation for completing hidden agendas. We all have one of these, which give us various goals that we're going for. In addition to this, there are quests that we can accomplish, and these will give us access to various instrumentation, and these will also get us reputation. So everything that we're trying to do in this game is ultimately going to end up giving us a few reputation, and the person with the most will be the winner.
Towards the end of the day and the halls are beginning to thin out. It's still quite busy, but people are beginning to think about going home now. I've just spent the last couple of hours playing AstroNavigators, which is a game about astronomy, and I had the panda character who liked moons, and he could go travelling on his rocket much quicker because it doesn't take the damage on the way to the moon, so that was exciting. And it was a really good play. It's designed by someone who used to work in astronomy, so he really knows what he's talking about in terms of the topic, and it's coming to Game Found soon. We will have some more coverage on that on our channel, so do keep an eye out if you're interested.